by my watch, it's 8:49, so that's 1 minute before, so we can start a minute early. The first, welcome to the joint subcommittee meeting of, well, in this case, it's the House Higher Ed Committee that has purview over agricultural extension and cooperative ag experiment and cooperative extension, and the chairman of the Senate Agriculture. So we'll begin by taking testimony from the Cooperative Extension Service. And let me make sure your microphone's on. You should be.
Is it on? Okay. Hello? Is it on? Are we good? Try again? Okay. Well, good morning. My name is Joe Broder. I serve as the interim dean and director of the College of Ag and Environmental Sciences, and have appreciate this opportunity to share with you our amended FY16 budget. First, let me express my thanks to the support that you've given us over the years. We think our college is one of the best ag colleges in the country, and we pride ourselves for that. Still, our future success depends upon our having the capacity to serve, and I think we can be relevant as long as we add value to the industries in the state and serve our people. So the real challenge before us today is, how do we maintain this capacity? Agriculture has become increasingly complex. It's high tech, and we're asked to respond to many situations. And let me digress just briefly. I'm an economist, but I remember a little bit about the Georgia peach industry. At one time, peaches were big in the state. We were the peach state, and so all these streets are named after peaches. Then there was a peach rust, and in some ways, we fault the ag schools, or maybe the technology. We just couldn't respond in time before we had to, in essence, burn all the trees down. Chuck, is that what we did? I believe so. Our school stands ready to respond to those kind of crises, and that requires capacity to be able to respond. And so what's happened is we have some unintended consequences. We appreciated the raise pool that the university has received over the years, but the way that has worked for the B budget, the extension and the experiment station, is that we received a 1% increase in the raise pool, and the university gave a 4% and a 5% increase respectively in FY15 and FY16. So this left us with two choices. Again, we appreciated that amount. We could either give our faculty and staff a lower merit raise in those periods, or elect to give them an equal merit raise, our faculty and staff, and fund the raises from our operating and vacant positions. And the problem with that, it only works so long. So what happens is, you can do that year one and year two, but now we've whatever growth that you had hoped we would have in our college, we can't do so because we can't fill positions. So what does this amount to? And I have a handout, if it'd be okay to share that with you. I have with me Dr. Laurie Perry Johnson, our Associate Director of Extension, and also Dr. Bob Schulstead, Associate Director of the Experiment Station. So we have self-funded these raises, and over time it has amounted to $1.6 million on the extension side, $1.9 million on the experiment station side. And we feel it was important to be able to give these raises, because even now we feel some of our extension agents are paid below their market value, just the artifact of extension. And so in order to compete in the market for top quality faculty members, to sustain and retain extension agents, we needed to give these raises. And so because of that, we are in a bit of a jam. We are have the salary shortfall. We feel we want to reward and to maintain morale among our faculty and staff. So let me close by by asking that this shortfall from salaries and benefits be added to the FY16 budget. Stop there and ask if there are any questions. And thank you again for this opportunity to present our case.
Question from Representative Chairman Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Broder, thank you for being with us today. This is really not a hard budget question, but it sort of falls in that category of I should know the answer, but I don't. The relationship between UGA's extension and research operations and Fort Valley State University, a historically black college, can you talk about the relationship, and are there any budgetary or financial cross ties between what UGA does and what Fort Valley State does?
I believe we have had some relationships on the extension side. We've had some projects that have been jointly funded between the two institutions. I'm not aware of major funding initiatives now. It's more collaborative among the scientists, but no, I'm not aware of any.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from members of the committee? Dean, let me ask you a question, and I'm trying to get my hands around this particular issue with the raises and the retirement benefits that come with these raises. This sheet that you just passed out shows if I'm reading this correctly, in 15 you had a shortfall of $101,000, but in 16 you had a surplus. Is that correct? Is that how to read that? There's not a parenthetical. This is not a spreadsheet, so I'm not, or a general ledger. So am I reading that wrong?
Just the opposite.
It's just the opposite. So
In terms of the benefits, in 15 on cooperative extension, there was a surplus, but that surplus was wiped out when we got the 6. These are the
okay, so your overall.
summary of the shortfall.
So the shortfall for the FY16 estimate is $166,000 in cooperative and $15,000 in ag, for a total of about $181,000 shortfall.
That's correct.
And that's what you said you would. And if I understood your statement correctly, you were asking for that in the supplemental 16.
Correct.
And then we have the 17 issue. The numbers I have given to me by the chairman, I think it's 525 for the 17 budget. I know we're going to have other hearings on that, but if it's okay with the dean, go ahead, Mr. Chairman. You okay with that?
Brother, would you like to answer?
Please, Dr. Hill said.
That is a prediction that was based on the initial comments that we received from the university that they were hoping to have a 4% rate, 4% raise this year, and we were expecting that when that number was created, we were expecting a 2% raise from the governor. Now the governor provided 3%, that would be decreased.
That'll be decreased. Okay. All right, Chairman.
Dr. Broder, I'd just like to take a moment and thank you for the work that you've done in the interim period while we've been between deans. I know you've been the interim dean, and you've had all your regular responsibilities with those additional responsibilities. And Dr. Schulstadt and Dr. Johnson, all of you have done a great job, and I just wanted to thank you for the work that you've done. I know we got a new dean that we're looking forward to meeting, but I just wanted to thank you for all the extra work that all three of you did in the interim and for being here this morning with us.
Thank you, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, let me follow up. I had two further things. Are these full year amounts? Are these full year amounts that are on this?
Yes, that's correct.
These are full year. Okay. And I guess the final piece that sometimes you stay around long enough, a lot of this stuff comes back full circle. I just want to reiterate the importance of the legislative oversight of the B budget to everyone. That's really not going to ever change. We're not interested in changing the A and B budgets around in that sense. At least I haven't heard any real push to change the legislative side of the B budget. So just, and I know that that's a message from the chairman as well. So just as a point of information. Any other questions, Mr. Chairman? We good? Okay. Thank you very much, Dean. I want to echo how much I appreciate and how everything I hear. You've done an amazing job of in a interim situation, which is always a challenge. So thank you.
And I apologize, Chairman, for calling you by your first name. I'm sort of new to
We've been
this.
doing that for 40 years. It's not changed now.
Chuck's a pretty good guy. You know, he's not one of those good guys.
Thank you very much.
I'm good if you're good.
What do we have next?
Ag experiment.
Next is Ag Experiment. I think you did that for them, did you not, Dean?
All right, so forestry. The cooperative forestry.
Forestry and Cooperative Extension is next. Who's that?
I know all know how all that's broken down and everything, but is that all the presentations? Do we have anybody that's going to speak specifically to forestry or anything else?
Probably not in the supplemental. I've never seen. Well, that sounds like.
I know we don't have a lot of changes or anything, so. And they've changed our responsibilities with the Senate this year. You know, we've gone from just ag to ag and natural resources, so I'm kind of getting my feet on the ground also.
Okay, I think we have a question from Senator.
No, I was just going to, Mr. Chairman, if I could speak, say to Senator Wilkinson that we didn't think Dr. Johnson, who is my constituent from South Georgia, want to thank you so much, Dr. Johnson, for what you do, and so proud to have a Southwest Georgian.
That's that Camilla
such
connection,
good work.
isn't it? And it's Camilla and environments and Moultrie. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of like my constituent, but not quite, huh?
I had all 41 of those.
Well, thanks so much. We
You do.
appreciate you.
Yes, I agree.
And a
Thank you.
good
Thank you for
friend.
pointing that out.
Yes, sir.
Anything further, Chairman?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, without anything else, this meeting will stand adjourned. Thank you very much.